Yeah, it was really good to go over to Oz. The squad of my age and year below. Really enjoyed it, and I think they put us in like a professional environment for a period of 3 weeks, playing against like the best teams in the world with like Cronulla and West Tigers and stuff. So really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good to be honest. We spent 3 weeks out there. I think it was. We managed to come away unbeaten, but it was a bigger thing for like me for being friends with the lads, and a lot of the activities you do are absolutely great, and you might never get a chance to do them again.
It's the first ever, so we sort of went into it in the dark really. We didn't know what to expect, both playing wise against Australian kids same age as us. Were they going to be bigger, stronger, better? And also actually Australia as a country, and stuff like where we were stopping on a night. I think one day we was in King's Cross, which was a rough area, with and then the next minute we were in Narrabeen, which was the Institute of Sport. So there was a lot of diversity over there, and it was a great learning experience, and also made friends for life.
Yeah, like we finished our season over here. We'd done well as a team, and when we went over there, you could tell that it was a really good standard. Yeah, but we played 4 games while we were over there, and we managed to come back with 4 wins. So I think it shows that we took a good squad, and we did quite well.
Yeah, again, it's quite a lot played here. There's like myself, Gary Wheeler, Andrew Dixon, Matty Ashurst, Sean McGuinness. That's just to name a few of them.
Yeah, it was a bit of a change, but nothing was sort of luxury. Throughout the tour, everything was done on a budget. But that sort of galvanised us, and brought us closer together. The long bus trips, sometimes an hour and a half from where we were based in Penrith to Sydney. Your lads and a coach, you're going to have a mess around, you're going to have a joke, and we had a lot of good times.
Well, back then when I went on that tour, I was only part time, so going into like a full time environment, training every day, just give you a glimpse into what it could be like, and then obviously it standed me in good stead for now I've come up to the top squad. I was already used to being in that training every day, maybe a couple of times a day, and also like professionally going to games and stuff as a team, travelling together, the setup, the warm up, just everything is just a bit more intense, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Training environment gets a bit nicer because it's a bit warmer, but generally the training's pretty similar to what you'd be doing anyway with the academies and that. But it's just in a nicer environment. Come November time, you're in the sun rather than in the rain.
The first game was pretty easy. I think it was West Tigers Academy. We beat them pretty convincingly. The second game actually got called off due to a mass brawl, but we were winning that one convincingly as well. And then the final test against Penrith, who were highly regarded as a top team over there, we came away with a victory. I think it was 18-16. It was a great feeling to win that game. All the lads who played in it remember it vividly, and it was proud to be part of that, and also come over the 3 wins for the tour.
Well, yeah, we took like the likes like Tommy Martin over. We took a lot of the academy coaches, but it was just there was a lot of coaches, so you got a lot of like individual, like specifically like, so for me I worked a lot with Tommy on like my kicking game and stuff like that, being a halfback. I think that really helps. It breaks your game down, and so you can do a lot of specific stuff for you instead of like not just for all the team.
It was, like I say, it was really good. Like obviously you've got the memories of the games, but the memories of just being involved in the group and the team activities that you do, they're a massive thing as well. It's not just about the rugby, although I don't know, Rushy and Derek and the likes might not appreciate me saying that, but so a lot of it is, if you're there for your mates on the field, you should be there for them off the field, and vice versa.
Australian sides, they started off like a house on fire, and we caught us on the back foot. I think we was down 12-0 or something like that before we knew it, but then we slowly got our foot through the door and got into the game, and I think at one stage it was about 18-12, and then they scored in the last minute, the last seconds of the game, and missed the kick from the touchline to so we ended up getting the win. But yeah, it was a tough team to play against, but fully been enjoyable.
Probably just enjoy it and take it all in, because the 3 weeks that you're there, you do so many things, and there's so much coaching and stuff to take from it. I'd probably just try and take as much of it in as you can and use it for pushing on in your career.
Big one for me was the Balmain one. I think when we actually drew that one, but we got a try disallowed in the very last minute, and obviously, that was a bit suspect, that call from the referee, but I won't have any hard feelings about it.
Every day, Mike Rush and all the people involved, we train in the morning, get that out of the way pretty early, and then the rest of the day was sightseeing and stuff, go doing adventures, activities, Sydney Harbour Bridge, there's that many, I can't think of them. Just basically Sydney Harbour Bridge, whitewater rafting, Blue Mountains, going visiting all the different stadiums, all different teams, all sort of stuff like that. And even sort of going on the beach, just sunbathing, or going surfing in the sea. It was great. It was a great experience, and you're never bored for a second. I thought that before I went, what am I able to do with all this time? I might need to take my PlayStation or something like that, but I didn't need it. They kept us entertained, and when you came back after a full day out, you're straight in bed and back up the next morning early, for the same thing again.
Probably the activities we did. It's not just the rugby side of it. They do a lot of activities. So we walked the Sydney Harbour Bridge. We did some. What else did we do? We did whitewater rafting, go-karting. We did everything really, and like a lot of them things you might not get a chance to do again. So doing them so young, they're like once in a lifetime really.
I definitely take it all in. I don't even think it was Facebook back then. I think it was MSN still. That's how far back it was for me. But we weren't really interested in our mobile phones and iPads and stuff like that because we didn't have them. Everyone was on sort of the Nokias playing probably Snake 2 or something like that, or Snake. That's how far back it was for us. But yeah, enjoy it. By all means, ring your family up every couple of days and let them know how you're doing, and that's what we did. But most of all, it was I spent the majority of the time with lads who I played all my career with, and then after we'd finished there in Australia and we come back, I've probably seen them a handful of times, a few of them, which is sad, but it's sort of that step up between finishing your amateur career, and some people can't make that step up to academy and going full time and professional, and they get left by the wayside. So there's guys out there who are still my friends and I still talk to, but I don't see them as much as I'd like to every day. Those 3 weeks of my life spending hours and just chatting and just chilling and just playing rugby and just enjoying yourselves and not having a care in the world, is one of the best times of your life.